Every word you speak is a decree that shapes your world. There is a law of words, and when you speak in alignment with the infinite, the unseen forces rush to obey. The substance of wealth is everywhere around you, waiting for direction. It does not move until it is commanded with faith and certainty. The command is simple, but it must be spoken with the authority of truth. Money comes to me now in perfect ways, under grace, in miraculous abundance. When you speak these words, speak them not as a plea, but as a law being established. You are not asking, you are declaring what already exists in the invisible realm. And when spoken in unwavering faith, the law of supply responds instantly. Every time you affirm this command, you are opening the gates of abundance. Doubt and fear are the only thieves that block the flow. Do not allow appearances to deceive you. Appearances are shadows, not substance. Substance is spirit, and spirit knows no limitation. The moment you issue the divine command, the wheels of supply begin to turn. Channels open, doors swing wide, people, ideas, and opportunities appear as if by magic. But it is not magic, it is law. Release the command and do not worry about how it will manifest. Do not trace the channels or force the process. The how is not your concern. Your only work is to speak the word and expect it. Expect with joy. Act as though the answer is already in your hands, because in truth it is. When you obey this principle, you will see proof within hours, sometimes instantly. Money comes as gifts, refunds, unexpected payments, new opportunities, or miraculous means you could never have imagined. The law is faithful. The law cannot fail when spoken in faith. Say the words now with full conviction and allow the infinite supply to deliver what is already yours by divine right. Every word spoken carries creative power. Words are not mere sounds, they are forces that shape substance and form the experiences of life. When you speak, you are setting a law into motion, and that law works with mathematical precision. Many people weaken their word by treating it as a plea, a wish, or a hope, but the universe does not respond to uncertainty. It responds to conviction. The difference between a plea and a command lies in the attitude of the speaker. A plea comes from fear, lack, and doubt. A command springs from authority, faith, and knowing. When you plead, you affirm that you do not yet have what you desire. You strengthen the appearance of lack and delay the manifestation of your good. When you command, you declare that the thing you seek is already yours in the invisible realm, and your word brings it forth into visibility. A word spoken with authority does not waver or beg. It stands as truth and expects fulfillment. Think of how a king issues a decree. He does not plead with his subjects to obey. He speaks once and knows that the law will be carried out. The same principle applies in the spiritual realm. Your word, spoken in faith, is law to the invisible forces that govern supply. When you say, "Money comes to me now in perfect ways," you are not asking for money to come. You are declaring that it does come, here and now, through the power of divine law. The command does not recognize time or distance. It does not concern itself with channels or conditions. It works because you have spoken it in alignment with truth. People often speak words carelessly, unaware that every idle word carries weight. Words spoken with fear and worry become seeds of limitation. Words spoken with faith and joy become seeds of abundance. The soil of the mind receives whatever you plant. If you speak, "I never have enough money," the law works to fulfill that statement. If you speak, "I am rich in divine substance and money flows to me freely," the law works to bring that truth into form. It is not a question of whether the law works, it always works. The only question is what kind of seed you are sowing through your words. When you treat your word as a command, you speak once with confidence and then release it. You do not repeat it with anxiety, wondering if it will work. You do not cancel it with words of fear. You speak it, you know it, and you expect it. Expectation seals the command. It builds the invisible bridge between your word and its manifestation. The moment you speak in faith, the unseen begins to move. Doors start to open, ideas flow, people are prompted to act, and channels appear that you could never have planned. But the power began with the spoken word, a command, not a plea. So guard your speech. Refuse to use words that contradict your good. Refuse to plead, beg, or whine for what is already yours by divine right. Speak the word with authority, knowing that your command carries the force of law. Say it as if it cannot fail, because the law cannot fail. When you understand this truth and apply it with confidence, your words will no longer be idle sounds. They will become living decrees that summon abundance, health, and success into visible form. The divine command is not a collection of words strung together. It is a declaration that taps into the infinite source of supply. When you speak a command that aligns with divine law, you are not creating something new. You are bringing into visibility what already exists in the unseen. The substance of wealth, health, and success surrounds you at all times, waiting for direction. Words give that direction. A divine command is spoken with confidence and authority, never in fear or desperation. It acknowledges the truth that abundance is already yours by divine right, and that nothing can keep it from manifesting except your own doubt or contradiction. When you say, "Money comes to me now in perfect ways, under grace, in miraculous abundance," you are not asking, hoping, or wishing. You are setting a spiritual law in motion. The word now signifies immediacy. It erases delay and time limitations. Perfect ways leaves the channel open for infinite intelligence to choose the best path. Under grace ensures that what comes will be for your highest good and the good of all involved. Miraculous abundance calls forth more than enough, beyond what you can calculate or predict. Every part of this command is designed to harmonize with the principle of supply. But the command only works when spoken in faith and sealed with expectation. If you speak the words mechanically while doubting their power, you scatter your energy. The law does not respond to empty repetition. It responds to belief. Speak the divine command as a decree, not a question. Do not wonder how it will happen or through what channel it will arrive. That is not your concern. The how belongs to infinite intelligence. Your part is to speak and to trust. When you speak the command, release it completely. Do not look for results with anxious eyes. Instead, give thanks as though it is already accomplished. Gratitude seals the word and draws the good into form. The power of a divine command lies in its alignment with spiritual truth. You cannot command what violates divine law, but you can command what is already yours by right of consciousness. Wealth, health, and success are not privileges. They are divine inheritances. You were not created for lack or struggle. When you speak a command of abundance, you are claiming your own. There is nothing selfish or unspiritual in doing so. It is selfish to remain in fear and limitation when the law of supply stands ready to serve you. Every word of truth spoken lifts not only you but all who come in contact with your life, for your prosperity blesses others. Speak the divine command once with conviction, and then rest in assurance. Resist the temptation to cancel it with contradictory words like, "I hope it works," or "It never happens for me." Such statements destroy the seed you have planted. Guard your thought and speech as carefully as a gardener protects tender plants. Feed the command with praise and expectancy. Act as though the supply is on its way, because it is. The moment the command is spoken, unseen forces move to fulfill it. People, opportunities, and ideas begin to align. What seemed impossible becomes inevitable. The channels may surprise you, but the law never fails. One divine command spoken in faith can accomplish more than hours of effort driven by fear. It is the key to releasing abundance swiftly and harmoniously. The words carry creative power because they are rooted in truth and charged with faith. When you understand this, you will no longer plead or struggle for what you desire. You will speak the command and watch the law fulfill it with precision and grace. What you see with your eyes is not the ultimate truth. It is only the result of previous beliefs, thoughts, and words. Appearances are shadows, temporary reflections of conditions that can change in an instant when you align with spiritual law. Many people make the mistake of bowing down to appearances as if they are permanent, allowing them to dictate emotions, attitudes, and decisions. They see an empty bank account and conclude that lack is real. They see bills and debts and assume these conditions hold power. But they do not. They have no power except the power you give them through fear and belief. Appearances are illusions because they do not represent the true substance of life. The true substance is spirit, and spirit knows no limitation. Spirit is the invisible supply that underlies every form. Money is only one of the many channels through which that supply flows. When one channel closes, another opens, because the source is infinite and cannot be exhausted. If you cling to appearances, you block that flow. If you fear an empty purse, you magnetize more emptiness. If you say, "This is the truth, I have nothing," you cement the illusion into form. The wise person refuses to accept appearances as final. They look beyond them to the unseen reality of abundance, and by holding to that truth, they cause conditions to change. The law of life works through faith and expectation. When you believe in lack, you set up conditions that match that belief. When you believe in plenty, you set up conditions for supply to appear. Appearances will always try to deceive you when you take a step of faith. They will whisper, "Nothing is happening," or "Things are getting worse. This is the testing time." If you yield to fear, you lose ground. If you hold firm to the truth, the illusion fades and the new condition appears. Faith is persistence in seeing the invisible when the visible contradicts it. It is the ability to say, "I know that abundance is mine now, regardless of what I see." That statement is not denial of reality. It is affirmation of the higher reality that governs all form. To believe appearances are illusions does not mean you ignore practical steps. It means you take those steps without fear, knowing the true source of supply. You may look at a small sum of money and give thanks for it as if it were thousands, because gratitude multiplies what you have. You may pay bills with joy, declaring, "There is always a surplus," because words of truth erase limitation. Every time you refuse to give power to appearances, you weaken their hold. They lose their seeming solidity, and the substance of good rushes in to fill the vacuum. Never let appearances dictate your word. Speak the word of abundance even when you stand in the midst of lack. Say, "I am rich in divine substance, and money comes to me in perfect ways," and mean it. Say it when the purse is empty, when the bills are high, when everything seems against you. That is the moment your faith counts. Anyone can speak abundance when they see it. It takes spiritual mastery to speak it in the face of contradiction. But when you do, the law works quickly because you have proven that appearances do not sway you. The universe always responds to steadfast faith. Appearances are nothing but shadows. The light of truth dissolves them. Stand on that truth, and what seemed impossible will shape itself into visible supply, for the unseen is always greater than the seen. Once you have spoken your word, your work is done. The law is now at work, and your part is to trust it completely. Too many people sabotage their own good by interfering with the process. They speak the command with confidence one moment and then snatch it back the next with fear, doubt, or constant questioning. They look for signs, trace channels, and wonder when and how the supply will come. This anxious energy blocks the flow because it reveals a lack of faith. When you truly trust the process, you release the word as a completed act. You know that what you have declared is already established in the invisible and will appear at the perfect time in the perfect way. Releasing the word means letting go of all worry about the method of manifestation. Infinite intelligence knows countless ways to bring your good. The channel you expect may not be the one chosen. You may imagine it coming through your job, a friend, or a specific opportunity, but Spirit may open a channel you could never have conceived. If you cling to one channel and resist all others, you limit the law. Your only concern is the end result. The means belong to divine wisdom. When you say, "Money comes to me now in perfect ways," you have opened the door to countless possibilities. Do not close that door by insisting on your own limited plan. Trusting the process is not passive, it is active faith. It means continuing to think, speak, and act as though the manifestation is already on its way. It means praising and giving thanks for the supply before you see it. Gratitude is the highest expression of faith because it assumes fulfillment. Every time you give thanks, you strengthen the current that draws your good. Every time you worry, you weaken that current and delay the demonstration. Worry is a form of negative prayer. It creates the very conditions you fear. So refuse to indulge it. Replace every thought of doubt with a statement of truth. Divine supply never fails. My good is secure and unstoppable. Another aspect of trust is patience. The law is instant, but time is often required for conditions to arrange themselves. Do not interpret this as delay. The moment you spoke the word, the answer began to take shape. Channels were opening, ideas were forming, people were being prompted, and opportunities were being prepared. Just because you cannot see the activity does not mean nothing is happening. The roots grow before the flower appears. Your demonstration is in process now. When you trust this, you remain calm and joyful instead of restless and anxious. Release is also freedom from attachment. Do not clutch or cling. Do not beg the law to work faster. Do not attempt to control every detail. These attitudes spring from fear, and fear blocks the very thing you desire. Let the word go like a seed planted in the ground. You do not dig up the seed every hour to check on its growth. You water it with faith and leave it in the soil. Your faith is the sunshine that draws the result. Rest in the certainty that the law cannot fail. What you have spoken is yours now. Expect it, prepare for it, and live in the feeling of its fulfillment. When you release and trust the process, you align with the divine rhythm of life. Everything comes easily, harmoniously, and at the right time. No struggle, no forcing, no strain, just effortless demonstration. The law works best when you step aside and allow it to move. Speak the word, release it, trust it, and rejoice, for your good is already on the way. Expectation is the magnetic force that draws your good from the unseen into the seen. When you speak a word of truth, you must expect its fulfillment as naturally as you expect the sun to rise. Many people declare prosperity yet secretly doubt whether anything will happen. They hope, they wish, but they do not expect. Hope is uncertain, expectation is assurance. The difference between the two is the difference between delay and demonstration. When you expect, you create a clear mental equivalent of the thing you desire. You see it, you feel it, you accept it as already yours. This mental picture becomes a mold into which the substance of spirit flows. The law moves swiftly for the expectant mind because expectation signals unwavering faith. When you say, money comes to me now in perfect ways under grace in miraculous abundance, you are not merely speaking words, you are setting the stage for immediate results. But the stage must be ready. If you speak the command and then entertain thoughts of maybe someday, or what if it doesn't work, you close the door to instant manifestation. Your expectation must be as strong as if you had already received the thing you asked for. Act as though the money is already on its way, because it is. Prepare for it, make room for it, speak with the confidence that the answer is already here. One of the greatest mistakes people make is to put the good far off in the future. They say, someday I'll be prosperous, or one day things will change. By doing so, they keep the blessing out of reach, always in a distant tomorrow that never comes. The truth is that your good exists now, in the present, waiting for your acceptance. The law knows only the present moment. When you affirm, I expect my supply now, you align with the eternal now, where all things are complete. Do not limit the law by pushing your good into the future. Expect today, expect now. Expectation should also be joyful. Do not expect with tension or strain. Expect with delight, like a child waiting for a long, promised gift. A child does not wonder if the gift will come. They simply look forward to the moment of receiving it. Adopt that same attitude of joyous anticipation. Every time you think of your desire, let a thrill of gratitude and certainty fill you. Say within yourself, it is on the way, I can feel it. That vibration draws the result swiftly because it harmonizes with abundance rather than lack. Immediate results do not always mean dramatic sums of money in a single moment, though such things do happen. It may begin with a small sign or reef, and you didn't expect a gift, an opportunity, a new idea. Recognize these as evidence that the law is working and give thanks. Gratitude multiplies the blessing. If you dismiss small beginnings as nothing, you weaken your expectation. Instead, rejoice in every sign and say, this is only the beginning. Greater things are coming now. The more you expect, the more you receive, and the faster it comes. Your good is not in the future, it is in the now, pressing to manifest. Expectation is the key that opens the door. It says to the universe, I am ready, I am prepared, I accept. Speak the word of supply, then live in the spirit of expectation every moment. Do not postpone your blessing with doubt or delay. Expect immediate results, and you will see the law respond in ways that seem miraculous, but are simply the natural outcome of faith. Acting as if your desire is already yours is one of the most powerful demonstrations of faith. When you act in alignment with your affirmation, you create harmony between your thoughts, words, and actions. The law responds to certainty, not hesitation. If you speak words of abundance yet behave as though you still live in lack, you send a double message to the universe. One moment you declare, I am rich in divine substance, and the next you act fearful, hoarding pennies or avoiding opportunities. This contradiction delays your good. Acting as if does not mean reckless spending or foolish behavior. It means living with the confidence and assurance that your supply is secure and present, even before you see it in form. When you act as if, you step into the vibration of possession. You begin to think, feel, and move as one who already has the thing desired. This shift in consciousness opens the door for manifestation because the outer always follows the inner. The world is your mirror. It reflects your dominant state of mind. If you walk and talk as if you lack, lack continues to show up. If you walk and talk as if you are provided for, supply appears. Every gesture, every decision, every tone of voice should affirm your belief that what you want is here now. If you have affirmed that money comes to you in miraculous ways, then stop speaking of poverty. Stop discussing what you cannot afford. Begin to speak of abundance with ease and allow your actions to support that truth. Faith without works is incomplete. Works, in this sense, means actions that express confidence in the unseen. Suppose you are expecting a large sum of money. Begin to make room for it. Clear a space in your accounts, plan what you will do with wisdom and gratitude, and behave as though you are fully supplied. If you are expecting new business, prepare your work as if the clients were already on their way. If you are expecting an opportunity, get ready as though the call were coming today. This is not pretense, it is prophecy in action. Your readiness signals the universe that you truly believe, and belief draws the manifestation swiftly. One reason people fail to demonstrate is that they wait to feel abundant after the money comes. They wait to feel joyful after conditions change. But the law works in reverse. You must feel the state first, and the condition will follow. Acting as if is the fastest way to generate that feeling. When you carry yourself as one who is blessed and prosperous, your emotions rise to match your vision. You radiate confidence, and that vibration attracts channels for supply. People respond differently to you. Opportunities find their way to you because you are no longer broadcasting fear or need but assurance and gratitude. Acting as if is not pretending something false. It is expressing the truth before it becomes visible. The truth is that your good already exists in the unseen. Your actions bring it from the invisible into the visible by aligning your outer world with your inner word. Do not wait for evidence. Create the evidence through your behavior. Begin to walk like the person you intend to be. Speak with the authority of one who knows. Give thanks for what is on the way as if it were already in your hands. Every step you take in faith hastens the fulfillment. When thought, word, and deed agree, manifestation is inevitable. Live as though your prayer is answered now, because in reality it is. So now you know the secret. Your word is your wand, and the command you speak shapes your world. The law is ready, the supply is waiting, and the universe is listening for your decree. Do not beg. Do not plead. Speak with authority, release the word, and trust the process. Appearances do not matter. They are shadows that vanish before the light of truth. Expect your good now, not tomorrow, and live as though it is already yours. The moment you give the divine command, the unseen begins to move in your favor. Doors open, ways are made, money flows in perfect ways under grace, in miraculous abundance. Say it once with unwavering faith, and then stand firm. Know it, feel it, and act upon it. Your declaration sets the law in motion, and the law cannot fail. Today, choose your words wisely, and speak only what you desire to see. The command is simple, but its power is infinite. Speak it now, and watch as life delivers beyond your greatest expectation. Your good is not coming someday. It is here, ready to rush into your hands the moment you declare it. Speak the divine command, and let the miracles begin.